what is out there and what isn't out there. So if you've got something special and you don't mind, I'll look after your stuff for you.
Will do.
Before we start, I want you to tell me what you think of that.
Molten, nice balls, very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they used in the Europa League.
Yes, yeah. You're still the agent for them.
I'm the agent for them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice balls, though.
So yeah, we've got a wide range, and yeah, how far could you throw this one,
I don't know, Enzo, will have to be a lot of hard practice.
Who threw the furthest between you, Mervyn, and Richard Michael? Yeah.
I would say Mervyn, because Mervyn used to bomb them like a kick.
Yeah. Didn't he throw it from the halfway line?
They didn't come like that. They came like that.
Yeah.
I could probably have thrown about the same distance as Mervyn.
Yeah.
But mine had a bit of an arc on them.
Yeah.
And I used to go for a bit of height first. But it was great going up for what you'd call a corner kick into the box, and Mervyn would find you from the touchline. Bang. Hit it.
It was always a goal most of the time.
Yeah. Another guy who threw quite far was Wixie.
Yes, I remember that.
Dennis
quite right, yeah. Kevin Lane also?
Yeah, but Kevin was a little bit after.
Yes, of course.
I'm talking about in that era where we all played together. Yeah, Richie Marco could throw too. I'd say Mervyn.
Probably Mervyn, yeah. Because I remember when I was a kid, my uncle used to take me to watch all your games. New Kingsmead was 9, 10 or whatever it is. Maybe you guys came along when it was a little bit later after that. But Mervyn could throw virtually from the halfway line. And you were like pretty much close to that as well.
Yeah, I was a little bit shorter than Mervyn. The reason why I know that is, just to deviate off the subject again, we had a Transnet Games, and one of the games that they used to have was a week up in Pretoria.
Yeah.
And they used to have a soccer tournament, which was five-a-side. Our side was Edwin Bossy in goals.
Yes. He relates to Brian Bossy.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Edwin Bossy in goals, Mervyn, myself, a guy by the name of Scar Valadium, who was a good little Indian player, Alan Stokes and Stephen Goos. That was our squad.
Crackerjack.
Mervyn used to play on the right hand side of the defence, and me on the left hand side of the defence, and we would move all the way up and down, control things. The other guys would just freedom. Mervyn used to bomb the throws from the right hand side right into the goals, and Goos used to head them in.
Yeah.
I used to bomb them from this side, and Alan Stokes would head them. And you know how long it took the other provincial sides
to understand that,
to work it out. Too late. We won the tournament going away.
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
Direct route.
Yeah.
But Brummie, welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Enzo. Thank you very much
for the invite. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation.
That's only a pleasure. Only a pleasure.
Thank you, Brummie. Now, your list of achievements is quite long, so if you don't mind, I'm going to read it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Just to give people an introduction to your history, to some of your history. So, if I don't give the correct facts, you must just correct me. Okay. You played for Durban City for 10 years, Dynamos for 3 years,
yes.
African Wanderers for 3 years,
yes.
Bushbucks for 3 years.
That's correct.
You won the league with Durban City in the National Football League.
Yes.
How many times?
Once.
Once, 1970.
Yes.
If I'm not right. Okay.
Yep.
And then you won in the Federation League. You also won the league there.
That's correct.
1978, and you won the Coca-Cola Shield in the same year. Then you that was against Suburbs United in 1978. The final of the Coca-Cola Shield, which used to be Durban United.
Yes.
Now you also won the league with Bushbucks.
Won the league in '85 with Bushbucks.
1985.
Yes. That's correct.
Okay. Was that the side with Dr. Ngubane, Professor Ngubane and those guys?
Great side.
Mark Tovey, Dennis Wicks.
The best side, Clive Barker would tell you any time. He would say 85 Bushbuck side that he coached was the greatest
the best
side.
Time best team he's ever coached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super bunch of guys there were too.
Bennett Condwick.
That's correct.
I've got a picture here. Most of the guys, let's see where it is here. Mark Tovey. Oh, there was an earlier team, man. That was, sorry, the people watching this won't be able to see that picture. But let me carry on.
Yeah,
sorry.
Just before it.
Yeah. Then you, as a junior, represented your province.
Yes.
Okay, at all levels until Currie Cup level.
Yes.
You were selected for South African Currie Cup team.
That's correct.
And also later for the South Africa Select 11.
Yes.
Now the Select 11, is that from the professional ranks?
That was from the pro ranks, yeah.
But what year was that, Brummie?
Enzo, you got me there now. I'm trying to...
I don't want to put you on the spot. Just, you do remember some of the players in that?
It was around about 85.
Was it after the Bushbucks era?
84, 85, yeah, around
Okay.
about the Bushbucks era of the great Bushbuck side.
Yeah.
They selected 2 sides, in fact. Although we didn't play internationally against anybody.
No, you couldn't. We were banned by FIFA.
So I was in the one side, and then of course there was the other side.
Yeah. Do you remember the results at all?
I can't, no.
I must try and find that out.
Can't find it.
But besides that, Brummie, I mean, the word legend and the word great is used far too much lately. In fact, for a long time. But you truly are a legend.
Thanks, Enzo.
You are a great player. You're a great ambassador for football, and you're really a proper legend.
Thank you.
In my view, and I've looked through all the posts that we did on the South African Football History Group, and to a man, every single person agrees with me that if anybody had to describe a legend, it's you in our football.
That's nice to know.
That's the truth. That's the truth, Brummie. And but before we get into your actual career, okay, of your football career, can we get a bit of background about your formative years when you were a junior?
Yeah, sure.
How old were you when you first started playing competitively?
Well, if I can go deeper than that, how I got into soccer was the fact that as a youngster, I suffered from bronchial asthma.
Okay.
And at 5 years old, our house doctor recommended to my parents that I should get into some kind of sport where there's a lot of running and activity.
Okay.
At that time, my brother, my oldest brother, he was 5 years older than me. He was playing at Woodlands, which is up the road from our house.
Was that a club or is
Club, Woodlands Club.
Okay.
And so they suggested, my parents suggested that I go with him to training.
Okay.
While he's training with the under 14 team, I can just run around, you know, and...
How old were you then?
6 and 7.
Okay.
The years of 6 and 7. When I was 7 years old, they put me into the under 14 side. They only had one side.
Were you already big at that age?
I managed to hold my own, but yeah, I was quite a big guy, obviously, in terms of stature. And I can remember, to this day, I can remember it, being awestruck playing against Park Hill, against the Man twins. Ronnie and Errol.
Really? Okay.
They were in Park Hill's team.
Okay.
And here was this little jockey of 7.
What was the age difference? How old were they?
They were 14.
Double your age?
Yeah, they must have been 13, 14. Yeah. And yeah, there I was 7, 8-year-old playing in the Woodlands under 14 side. I played at Woodlands until I was 10 years old. 10 years. And then a guy by the name of Malcolm Phillips, Lou Phillips, he was a counsellor. He came and he coached the under 12 side. And I was 10 years old, but he insisted that I should come play for the under 12. So I played for the under 12 for 2 years. And then Ramblers came knocking. Now both sides are in the same vicinity. And so I decided, okay, I'll go and play at Ramblers. Now Ramblers, when they came knocking, I was a 12-year-old going to play in the under 14 side. So I played in the under 14 side, and then the following year, when I turned 14, I was 13 playing the under 14 side. When I turned 14, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Series, Ronald and Patrick Series. He was taking the under 16 side
at Ramblers.
At Ramblers, and he recommended I should come play in under 16 side. So I always played above my age group. The rest is history. I played under 16 the first year as a 15-year-old, and that is when Durban City came knocking.
How did that come about?
Well,
do you remember any of the coaches that coached you in those junior years at Ramblers?
Yes, Mr. Dan Wise, he was the coach prior to Mr. Series.
Okay.
Like I say, and then when I went down to Cape Town to play in the Interprovincial, the under 16 Interprovincial, as a 15-year-old, my first year, I was a regular in the side, not just in the squad. I played all the games. I played the final down there, which we beat Southern Transvaal 1-0.
Representing Natal.
Natal, yes. Natal. And Richard Gomes was in the squad, in the side, and his father, Lou Gomes, he came down and he watched the whole tournament. He was there. Now, Lou Gomes was very, very close to Norman Elliott. Back in the days when they had Queen's Park Plumbers.
Okay.
I think it was a company that was actually funded by Norman Elliott, but Lou Gomes was the boss.
Okay.
And he recommended that I should come to Durban City because Durban City wanted to start an under-19 side that following year. And he recruited quite a few players from that team. Namely guys like Grant McDade, Roy Seago, myself, Clive Cardinal, Graham Burns. Who else was there?
Do you remember who the coach was at the time?
For the under 16 side?
Yeah.
At City?
At City.
Yes, it was Brian Barrett.
Okay.
He's the one that started as a coach for the under 19 side.
Okay.
And it was luckily for me that I used to have to travel by bus after school from my area, from Woodlands to town. And then I used to run with a rucksack on my back from town all the way down Umgani Road to the outfields at Kingsmead.
Instead of taking another bus?
Yeah.
You ran?
I used to run. And after training...
This is every training now?
Yeah. I was fortunate after every training that I could get a lift back with Brian Barrett because he stayed in Yellowwood Park.
Okay.
So he would come past my place, drop me off, and then carry on through to Yellowwood Park. I enjoyed that for 2 years. We were quite successful. We won the league, under 19 side. Dougie Kutsia will tell you differently that Durban United were the top side, under 19, but I think Durban City was. And then the following year, I became a fringe player in the first side squad, training with them and playing for the reserve side. Now, Harry Weir was the coach of the reserve side. Then, of course, Harry Weir recommended to Norman Elliott and to Budgie Byrne that I should, go into the first side squad. I moved into the first side squad. And
sorry, carry on.
I sat on the bench for a couple of games, and then I was fortunate that I got my breakthrough just before I turned 18.
1970.
1970, that's correct.
Yeah.
Against East London United at New Kingsmead.
I know the date. I've written it down here somewhere. It was the 26th of March.
That sounds right, because that
26th of March 1970.
That's correct.
It was a Friday night.
Yeah, that would have been the first game of the season.
Yes.
In March in those days. And made my debut, and I played regularly until they brought out the German immigrants.
There was Jürgen Sperlich,
Peter Enders,
Weber.